The ambush at Falaise, dawn's first light, December 16, 1944, 5:47 hours. A frozen fog clings to the Ardennes like a shroud. Headlights cut through the mist. 2 olive-drab GMC CCKW trucks, canvas flapping, tires crunching fresh snow. Inside the lead cab, Sergeant William G. Moore grips the wheel with gloved hands, breath fogging the windshield. His convoy, 12 trucks, 24 drivers, 120 tons of fuel and rations, rolls west on the single-lane road the Germans call the Rollbahn. Then muzzle flashes. A Panzerfaust rocket screams from the tree line. The second truck erupts in a bloom of orange, cans of gasoline rupturing like blood. Moore slams the brake. The convoy jackknifes. Shadows and field gray pour from the woods, Feldgendarmerie, Panzer Grenadiers, a single tiger prowling behind them like a cathedral bell tolling doom. In 30 seconds, the road is theirs. The surviving Americans raise hands, boots crunching on shattered glass. Among the captors stands Generalleutnant Fritz Bayerlein, commander of the Panzer-Lehr division, greatcoat collar turned up against the wind. He steps over a burning tire, eyes narrowing at the endless line of trucks still visible through the smoke, dozens more, headlights snaking back into the fog like a luminous serpent. Bayerlein kneels beside a ruptured crate, sear rations, Hershey bars, cans of Spam stamped Chicago Packing Co. He lifts one, turns it in the dawn light, then looks again at the convoy stretching beyond sight. A whisper escapes his lips. Mein Gott! They never stop. You can almost taste the diesel on the air, feel the heat of the flames against your cheeks. One captured sergeant, blood trickling from a scalp wound, laughs bitterly. Welcome to the Red Ball Express, sir. We're just the breakfast shift. Bayerlein's adjutant scribbles frantic notes. 12 trucks here, 12 more a mile back. And the road keeps feeding them, hour after hour, like a factory belt that never jams. Somewhere behind the Tiger's idling engine, a radio crackles, American voices, calm, scheduling the next wave. Bayerlein's fingers tighten on the Spam can until the metal dents. What he sees in that moment isn't just trucks. It's the heartbeat of an empire that never sleeps.
The Red Ball Express, a river of steel on wheels, August 25, 1944. 14:12 hours. The Normandy dust still hangs in the air like gold powder. From the cracked bell tower of St. Lay, Lieutenant Colonel Lauren A. Ayers watches the horizon. A black ribbon of trucks nose to tail. 2 lanes wide snakes across the bocage, kicking up clouds that blot out the sun. Engines roar in perfect, relentless rhythm. 6.6 Jimmies, Studebakers, Max. Every make the Detroit assembly lines can vomit out. Ayers checks his clipboard. In the last 24 hours, 12,342 tons delivered. 4,800 vehicles. 900,000 gallons of fuel. Enough to keep Patton's Third Army lunging forward 20 miles a day. He mutters to his driver, if the Krauts ever see this from the ground, they'll pack up and go home. Cut to the road itself. Sergeant William G. Moore, same man, 4 months younger, leans out his cab window, cigarette glowing. His convoy is run for 17B, 89 trucks strong, bound for Chartres. Rules are simple. No stopping except for air attack. No speed under 25 miles per hour. No lights after dark. A sign hammered to every dashboard reads, "You are the Red Ball. Keep rolling." Behind him, Private First Class Robert L. Johnson, 20 years old, Harlem balances on the running board, shotgun across his knees. He waves the next truck forward with a red flag. Every 30 seconds, another rig passes. Johnson grins at the camera, you can almost see. We Dan-T break for nothing but bombs. Baby, the math is brutal. 1 truck every 6 seconds, 24 hours a day. From the beaches to the front. Breakdowns. Drag him to the shoulder. Another replaces it before the engine cools. Flat tire. Change it at 30 miles per hour to men on the hood. 1 steering, 1 wrenching. Fuel. Siphoned from the cargo, they're hauling. At a crossroads near Alencon, French civilians line the ditches. Tossing apples, kissing dusty fenders, a little girl holds up a hand-painted sign. Mercy Red Ball. The drivers honk, wave, never slow. But somewhere in the columns, a German reconnaissance pilot, Lieutenant Kurt Rubel, banks his Fieseler storched low enough to count axles. His radio report crackles to 5th Panzer Army HQ. Enemy supply column. No beginning, no end. Estimate 5,000 vehicles in motion. The reply is silence. Then a single word. Impossible. Back on the road, Moore's odometer clicks past 100,000 miles for the month. His eyes are red slits, but the convoy keeps rolling, because somewhere ahead Patton's tanks are burning 400,000 gallons a day, And every minute the red ball pauses. A Sherman dies thirsty. You feel the vibration in your teeth, the heat of the manifold, the smell of hot rubber and coffee brewed on the exhaust pipe, and you realize this isn't logistics. This is war by conveyor belt.
The capture. Bayerlein's Frozen Dawn, December 16, 1944. 6:03 hours. The Ardennes Road is a graveyard of burning rubber and twisted steel. Generalleutnant Fritz Bayerlein stands ankle-deep in slush, greatcoat unbuttoned despite the cold. His breath plumes white as he stares at the captured red ball convoy, 12 trucks. Now silent, their canvas bellies slit open like gutted fish. A young SS Sturman drags Sergeant William G. Moore forward by the collar. Moore's lip is split, but his eyes burn defiance. Bayerlein waves the guard off. "English?" he asks. Moore spits blood, nods. Bayerlein gestures at the wreckage. "How many more?" Moore laughs, a short bark. "More than you got shells to stop, General." Behind them, Bayerlein's adjutant, Major Helmut von Hofecker, frantically sketches the scene. Tire tracks stretching both directions, fresh rubber overlapping old, no gaps. He counts aloud, 1 column every 4 minutes. At this rate, 200 trucks an hour. His pencil snaps. A tiger eye rumbles closer. Obersturmführer Michael Whitman at the hatch, fresh from Villers Bocage, hungry for another headline. He peers through binoculars, expecting stragglers. Instead, he sees headlights, the dozens, hundreds, flickering through the fog like fireflies on a death march. Whitman's voice cracks over the intercom. They're still coming. They don't even slow for their own dead. Bayerlein kneels again, this time beside a spilled crate of jerry cans, American, stamped ESSO, 5-gallon, perfect fit for Sherman tanks. He lifts one, sniffs the high-octane scent, then looks east. Somewhere beyond the tree line, his own Panzer-Lehr sits on 18 miles of fuel per division. Total. Von Hofecker whispers, "Herr General, if this is one route..." Bayerlein finishes the thought, "Then there are 50. 100. He crushes the can in his fist, gasoline trickling between his fingers like blood. Moore, hands bound, leans against the fender. "You know what we call breakdowns, sir?" Speed bumps. The first P-47 Thunderbolt roars overhead, low enough to rattle teeth. Its pilot, Captain Jerry Coleman, waggles wings at the convoy, a salute to the truckers. Bayerlein flinches. His flak batteries are 20 kilometers back, out of range, out of fuel. In that instant, the math crystallizes. German daily fuel delivery, 400 tons if the trains run. American daily fuel delivery on this road alone, 900 tons before breakfast. Bayerlein's knees buckle, not from cold. From the weight of a war already lost in a warehouse ledger. You hear the distant thump of artillery, American, advancing. You smell the sweet avgas mixing with pine smoke. And you see it in Bayerlein's eyes, the exact moment the Wehrmacht's last illusion shatters. But the trucks? They're already moving again, the ones the Germans didn't catch. Headlights piercing the fog, engines coughing back to life. Because the Red Ball Express doesn't do funerals. The realization, a map room in ruins, December 16th, 1944, 9:15 hours. A stone farmhouse outside St. Vith, windows shattered, map tables scarred by coffee rings and cigarette burns. Generalfeldmarschall Gerd von Rundstedt hunches over a 1 to 100,000 chart, red grease pencil trembling in his arthritic fingers. Bayerlein's report lies beside it. 12 trucks, 1 hour, 1 road. Extrapolated across the Allied front, the numbers spiral into nightmare. Von Rundstedt's chief of staff, General Siegfried Westphal, slams a fresh intercept on the table. American signal traffic decoded overnight. Red Ball Run 912A, cleared Cherbourg 4 o'clock. ETA Chartres 14 o'clock. 132 rigs, 920 tons. Westphal's voice is hollow. They're scheduling like a railway timetable, Herr Feldmarschall. And the trains never derail. A junior officer, Hauptmann Klaus von Pruss, pins new pins blue for Allied supply dumps. They form a glowing lattice from Normandy to the Rhine. Red pins, German fuel reserves, cluster like dying embers. 300 tons. Here, 180 there, 40 in a rail siding outside Cologne. Von Pruss steps back. The contrast is obscene. Bayerlein bursts in, snow on his shoulders, eyes wild. He doesn't salute. "I saw it, sir, with my own eyes. The road. It breeds trucks. Every minute another one. They don't sleep. They don't repair. They replace. He slaps the dented ESSO can onto the map. Gasoline sloshes across Belgium. Von Rundstedt doesn't look up. How many drivers? Negro troops, mostly, Bayerlein says. They call themselves the Red Bull. 80% of them. Driving 16 hours, sleeping 4, driving again. No rotation. No leave. Westphal whispers, we rotate a division and it takes a week. They rotate a truck and it takes 30 seconds. Silence. Outside, a king tiger coughs to life, then stalls. Fuel starvation. The crew pushes it by hand. Von Rundstedt finally speaks, voice like gravel. Gentlemen, we are not fighting armies. We are fighting factories on wheels. He draws a single red circle around Bastogne. If Patton reaches this crossroads before we do, the Ardennes is a graveyard. He looks at Bayerlein. How long until your panzers move again? Bayerlein swallows. 48 hours, if the trains come. If the fuel comes, if Von Rundstedt cuts him off with a raised hand. They will not come. He turns to the window. Through the frost, he sees it. Another convoy, headlights winking, rolling east, unmolested, unstoppable. You feel the chill seeping through the stone walls. Hear the scratch of the grease pencil as it marks the inevitable. And you realize the Battle of the Bulge isn't decided in snowdrifts or minefields. It's decided in a Detroit stamping plant that never closes.